Hello everyone. In this session we will be learning about the example wherein the balance as per a cash book is a overdraft balance, and we will be preparing a bank reconciliation and finding the balance as per bank statement. Now, what is the overdraft balance? The overdraft balance is a facility which is provided by bank wherein we can over withdraw our bank account to certain extent or limit as provided by bank. So in other words, overdraft facility is a short term loan which is given by the bank. Since it's a loan, it will be showing a credit balance in our bank account as per books, and it will be showing debit balance as per our bank statement. So let's see one example on this. Miss Seema had a business of trading in paints. Bank balance as per cash book is 1,25,000 credit. Overdraft balance as on 31st March 2019. Prepare bank reconciliation and find balance as per bank statement. First, check of rupees 45,000 issued to Mrs. Komal but not presented for payment. Second, check of rupees 75,000 received from Messrs. Meghna Limited. The same is deposited in the bank but not cleared. Third, bank charges of rupees 5,000 debited in bank statement but not recorded in the books of accounts. Fourth, Mr. Somnath has deposited rupees 25,000 directly in the bank account but it is not recorded in the books of accounts. Fifth, interest received credited in bank statement rupees 7,000 but not recorded in the books of accounts. Now let's begin. So we have been given bank balance as per cash book is 1,25,000 credit, overdraft balance as on 31st March 2019. So we are preparing bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2019. So balance as per cash book overdraft 1,25,000. First, check of rupees 45,000 issued to Mrs. Komal but not presented for the payment. So there was some check which was issued to Mrs. Komal but it was not presented for the payment. Now, since there was a check which was issued, the same has been recorded in the books of account. Now, since this is a overdraft balance or it's a liability, and we have recorded the check issued, there will be increase in our overdraft balance as per cash book. But since same is not presented for the payment, it is not recorded in our bank statement. So to that extent, our overdraft balance in the bank statement will be less. So now we are moving from cash book to your bank statement. So we have to reduce it in our bank reconciliation statement. Now let's prepare a working note for this so that we understand it better. Working note number 1. Cash book, passbook. Now this is a overdraft balance. So it will be credit balance as per cash book and debit balance as per passbook. Let's assume it as 1 lakh rupees. Now check issued but not presented for the payment. So it is on the credit side of cash book 45,000. Passbook there is no entry. So 1,45,000 as per cash book, 1 lakh as per passbook. We are moving from cash book to passbook. So we have to reduce 45,000 in bank reconciliation statement. Let's write this. Additions will be writing it here. So less check issued but not presented for payment 45,000. Next, second, check of rupees 75,000 received from Messrs. Meghna Limited. The same is deposited in the bank but not cleared. So there was some check of 75,000 received from Messrs. Meghna Limited. Now since we have received the check and it's deposited in the bank, it is recorded in our cash book. So to that extent, our overdraft balance will be less in the cash book, but the same is not cleared in the bank, so it is not recorded in our bank statement. So to the extent of 75,000, our overdraft balance in our bank statement will be greater. Now since we are moving from cash book to bank statement, we have to add 75,000. Now let's prepare a working note for this. Second, cash book, passbook. 1 lakh on the credit side, 1 lakh on the debit side. Now you have to be very careful while preparing a working note for a overdraft balance. The balance as per cash book will be on the credit side and balance as per passbook will be on the debit side. Even while analyzing that particular transaction, you have to keep in mind that it's a overdraft balance. So the impact of the transaction will be opposite to your normal balance. Now, cash book. Now, this is what is the transaction? The check is deposited but not cleared. So, since check is deposited, it will be on the debit side of cash book, but there is no entry in the passbook. So, balance as per cash book is 25,000. As per passbook is 1 lakh. Now, we are moving from cash book to passbook. So we have to add 75,000 in our bank reconciliation statement. Let's do this. Add check deposited but not cleared 75,000. Third, bank charges of rupees 5,000 debited in the bank statement but not recorded in the books of accounts. Now there are some bank charges which are debited in the bank statement. So because of this bank charges debited, there is an increase in our overdraft balance as per your bank statement. But since the same are not recorded in the books, our overdraft balance in the books will be less by 5,000 as compared to your bank statement. Now since we are moving from cash book to bank statement, we have to add bank charges debited by the bank but not recorded in the cash book. Now let's prepare a working note for this. Third, cash book, passbook. 1 lakh credit, 1 lakh debit as per passbook. Now 5,000 bank charges, they are debited by the bank. So we are recorded in the passbook. No entry in the cash book. So balance as per cash book is 1 lakh. Balance as per passbook is 1 lakh 5,000. We are moving from cash book to passbook. So we have to add 5,000. Now let's write this in bank reconciliation statement. Add bank charges debited in bank statement but not recorded in cash book 5,000. Next, 4. Mr. Somnath has deposited rupees 25,000 directly in the bank account but it is not recorded in the books of accounts. Now there is Mr. Somnath who has deposited 25,000 directly in a bank account. Now what has happened because of this is our overdraft balance has reduced in the bank statement by 25,000, but same is not recorded in our cash book or books of accounts. So now what has happened is to that extent our overdraft balance in our cash book is greater as compared to your bank statement. So in bank reconciliation statement, we have to reduce this amount of 25,000. Let's prepare a working note for this. 4. Cash book, passbook. 1 lakh credit as per cash book, 1 lakh debit as per passbook. Now there is a direct deposit by Mr. Somnath. So in our passbook we have 25,000 on the credit side. There is no entry in our cash book. So balance as per cash book is 1 lakh. Balance as per passbook is 75,000. We are moving from cash book to passbook, so we have to reduce 25,000 in bank reconciliation statement. Let's do this. Less direct deposit in bank account not recorded in the cash book, 25,000. Next, fifth, interest received credited in bank statement rupees 7,000 but not recorded in the books of account. There is some interest which is received and it is recorded in the bank statement on the credit side. So to that extent, our overdraft balance has reduced in the bank statement, but same is not recorded in the books of accounts. So as per books of accounts, our overdraft balance is greater by 7,000 as compared to bank statement. So in bank reconciliation statement, we have to reduce 7,000. Now let's prepare a working note for this. Fifth, cash book, passbook. 1 lakh credit in cash book, 1 lakh debit in passbook. Now there is some interest which is credited in the passbook. So on the credit side of passbook, 7,000. So balance as per passbook is 93,000. Now in cash book there is no entry. So balance as per cash book is 1 lakh. We are moving from cash book to passbook. So we have to reduce 7,000 in our bank reconciliation statement. Let's do this. Interest received recorded in bank statement but not recorded in cash book, 7,000. Now this was the last item for reconciliation. Now we'll just take a total and find out balance as per your passbook or bank statement as on 31st March 2019. Total of this is 80,000. Then total of this is 77,000. We have to reduce. So 1,25,000 plus 80,000 minus 77,000 is 1,28,000. Now this is balance as per bank statement overdraft. Now since we had started with overdraft balance as per cash book, that was positive, and the balance 1,28,000 is also positive. So this balance is also overdraft as per bank statement. So this was an example wherein we had an overdraft balance as per cash book and we had to prepare a bank reconciliation and find out balance as per bank statement.